Is the motorcycle industry doing well? Watch this video. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. So, is the motorcycle industry doing well? Are you feeling positive about it going into 2025? Now, the reason I'm making this video, there's a recent article by one of the motorcycle press, and they're talking about the Milan Motorcycle Show EICMA, and they were saying that, the state of the industry is doing fantastically well. This is a great indication that the motorcycle industry is just booming. I'm paraphrasing here, essentially because I think it had 600,000 attendees, visiting people to the show. Now, for me, that isn't a surprise because people want to go to a big motorcycle show. Right now in the UK, you got Motorcycle Live going on, and the organisers are already reporting that they're really feeling buoyant, that they've had a great first weekend of people going to the show. Well, it's the opening weekend of the show. Of course, you're going to get lots of people going to the Motorcycle Live show, and it's actually the biggest show in the UK. So why not? Of course it is. And they've done a great thing this year, Motorcycle Live, which I've been kind of critical of them in past years, in that they've offered a greater spectacle, a greater show, because they have live music acts, live motorcycle acts on Saturday night, on the opening weekends. So that's why lots of people think this is going to be a great event, let's go to it. But does it necessarily mean that just because lots and lots of people are going to a motorcycle show, that the state of the industry is doing well? Now, the reason why I ask this question is because there's a difference between attending a motorcycle show and having motorcycle manufacturers show their wares and all their new products, but it's all about conversion rates. How many people are going to be converted to go and buy brand new motorcycles? Because that is how you judge a motorcycle industry. That's how you gauge whether it's doing well in new product sales. Now, one of the big issues that's been happening here in the UK and certainly in the United States and other countries, I have no doubt, that motorcycle dealerships have been closing. They've been closing, or they've been certainly downsizing. Some of the dealerships with big name brands have closed their doors for good. Some manufacturers are having ever decreasing sales, let's just say like Harley Davidson, just to name but one, but other manufacturers aren't doing as well either. By contrast, other manufacturers are doing extremely well. For the last couple of years, Ducati have increased their sales, BMW have increased their sales, but Honda just keep on going from strength to strength. Now, one of the reasons that Honda have increased their sales over the last third quarter, let's say, of 2024, they've gone up 25%, 26%, is because they're just booming with their small motorcycles and their mopeds. In fact, many of the larger motorcycle manufacturers who are producing the smaller motorcycles are booming right now. So, this leads me on to another thing. A report that I talked about a few weeks ago was saying that large motorcycle sales are slumping, or big motorcycle sales are slumping. Those big expensive bikes, those signature bikes from the motorcycle manufacturers, the sales are slumping on those. Now, whether they can recover in the future, who knows? But essentially, as I've said in the past, that many people are leaving the big motorcycles and they're going towards the smaller CCs, the mid-size, let's say the 700 cc's to 900 cc's, or certainly going into the cheaper motorcycles at the sub 500 cc, where they're gaining a lot more value. Now enter the market other motorcycle manufacturers, let's say from India and China, who are producing motorcycles in that cc range that are even cheaper. And in some cases, as I've said in a previous video, Chinese motorcycle manufacturers are going to be producing motorcycles in the upper cc ranges as well, with greater value. Then all of a sudden there's a lot of pressure on the motorcycle industry. So for some manufacturers, we might be seeing a lot of growth right now. Other manufacturers, we're not seeing a growth at all. In fact, there's a bit of a decline there. So what does this mean for the overall health of the motorcycle industry? Well, it really depends where you're taking your markers from, where you're taking your pointers from. If we're talking about the motorcycle industry of larger motorcycles, then I would say it's probably in a bit of a slump. If we're talking about the motorcycle industry in terms of mid-size and small motorcycles, then you're probably thinking, yeah, it's about to boom. If we include in the global motorcycle industry in terms of the influence from India and China, then yes, you're going to say, yeah, things are doing rather well. But claiming that a motorcycle industry is doing well on the back of just how many people attend a motorcycle show, I don't think that has any value in it at all. How many people go to the Motorcycle Live show here in the UK or any other big motorcycle show around the world is not indicative of how many sales a motorcycle manufacturer is making. Harley-Davidson and Indian, for example, just to name but two, BMW, Triumph, Ducati, whatever the manufacturer is, they can attend big motorcycle shows all over the world. It doesn't necessarily mean that that will translate into motorcycle sales. What translates into motorcycle sales is the quality of their product, what types of products they're producing, and are they valuable to any potential customers? Do they have any worth? Are they enticing people to want to part with their money? That's what tells you whether the motorcycle industry, or any industry for that matter, is doing well. It's always about a conversion rate. It's always about getting the potential customers to hand over their money. And that's where you'll see the true health of the motorcycle industry or any industry. And right now, it's quite difficult to say, because in certain quarters, yeah, it's not doing so well. In other quarters, it's doing great. It depends what part of the world are we talking about. We're talking Northern Hemisphere or Southern Hemisphere, because we're entering different periods where most people in the Northern Hemisphere will put their bikes away and not ride so much, or most likely postpone any purchases until the spring. Whereas in the Southern Hemisphere, everything's just getting going in terms of riding, and more people are likely to buy motorcycles at this time of year. So the question is not what I think of the motorcycle industry or how I think it's doing. It's what you think of the motorcycle industry. Is the motorcycle industry delivering what you want from it? Are the motorcycle manufacturers giving you the kinds of bikes that you want to ride? Do you like the look of them? Do you like the way they perform? But also, are they coming in at a price that you're willing to pay? It's all well and good saying, I love a BMW, I love a Ducati, I love an MV Agusta, I love a Harley-Davidson Indian, whatever it is. But if those bikes are 20, 30, 40,000 pounds, whatever the price is, they might be great motorcycles, but they're just out of your price range. Therefore, the price isn't attractive to you. You're not going to be able to buy it. So if you're not going to be able to buy it, that means there aren't going to be that many sales. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here, well, just keep on watching the videos and I'll catch you again. Bye now.